LinkedIn tips for networking. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I'm a business investor and also dabble in digital marketing and a handful of other areas. Specifically lately, a lot of content marketing. We'll get into that in a second. I was talking last episode about LinkedIn and how I've just made some incredible relationships, especially in the last year and a half or so, over LinkedIn, a place that not a lot of people talk enough about in terms of its ability to network. And I think a lot of that comes from the problems associated with LinkedIn, because there are so many people, just like with one-on-one networking, they don't know how to approach other human beings and they don't know how to look at it from their perspective. They look at it as taking versus giving. They look at it as I got to get something versus either I can provide something, or let's just talk, let's just meet, let's just see if there's anything there. So I'll first, from the perspective, if you go onto LinkedIn and you open up your own profile, how do you make yourself relatively magnetic to where people come to you and they come and talk to you? Now, no matter what, there's probably going to be people asking to connect, but a lot of this stuff is it's just spammers. It's sometimes I'm not even sure if they're human, and they're coming and they're constantly asking to connect, and immediately after connecting, they're trying to pitch you on something. They're trying to take. They're trying to get your money, trying to get your attention, whatever. And that's a given. What you have to do is be able to separate those out from everybody else. And how you can go about doing that is be very specific when putting together your profile and when adding to your profile. I found that the more I add to my profile, the more variety I get of people approaching me on LinkedIn. And it gives me a chance to kind of see where people are coming from. So as I did more podcasting and started discussing more podcasting on LinkedIn and started putting out content on LinkedIn, that's another tip, is if you're putting out content on LinkedIn, that also brings attention. But as I started going about doing that, I would get a lot of people asking me questions about podcasting. I had a lot of vendors who are looking to sell views, podcast views and listens and downloads and those type of things. And from all over the globe, you get a lot of people just trying to sell you things that they think podcasters want, which isn't necessarily the things that I'm after, but you tend to get a lot of that on LinkedIn. You tend to get that a lot back. That I'm not saying you should, this has anything to do with podcasting. I'm using it as an example. So as I began referring to myself more as a business investor, and I put pieces in there having to do with that, I'd get a whole lot of people coming back because they do searches for investing or investors. And when you have certain people looking to get your money for this or that they'll pitch you over LinkedIn. They'll send you a message or they'll try to connect with you based on that idea. The more different ideas that I put within my profile, the more different types of results that I pop up for, searches I pop up for, and so you get different people coming at you. But I think the best thing about LinkedIn is the network you can build. What you want to do is connect with everyone you possibly can that you know that is willing to connect with you on LinkedIn, that you've had either professional background with, specifically if you've worked with them or around them or what have you, but also friends and other people. Try to find a way to link up with them on LinkedIn and watch other people's material on LinkedIn. Watch their videos and read their articles and their posts, and see what else is out there and comment on it. Participate a little bit, and as you do that, you'll find other people with similar backgrounds. You'll find other people with a whole lot of the same connections, and that's a way to start reaching out. That's one of my favorite ways to reach out, is to say, hey, I see that you're connected with so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and that you're into this, that you do this type of thing. You're into copywriting, you're into graphic design, and would you mind connecting on here? And you connect with them. And I would never try and pitch someone right off the bat in most cases, unless I had something that I think was a direct hit. But either way, I want to make sure that I'm providing some value to someone right off the bat, which is where content marketing comes in, is I can provide value and be able to toss that out there without having to do it directly into their personal messages. So I don't do a whole lot of direct reaching out on LinkedIn, but where I do, I have a reason for it. And I'm very clear about that reason. When people try and connect with me and they say it's because I'm connected to so-and-so and so-and-so, or because I have this certain background that they'd like to connect with me, great. And then if they send me a message, the best type of personal message is the type of thing where, hey, I don't know if we have any, I think it looks like we have a lot in common. Would you mind having a chat sometime? Would you mind jumping on Zoom and just talking? I'd love to find out more about what you do, or even better, if they have something of value that they're providing. They say, I have a podcast about content marketing that I think you might be able to, you might be a good guest on. Would you mind chatting, have a nice 5-minute chat with me and see if there's anything we can do together? All of a sudden, they've got something for me, see? Also, I have something for them. I'm providing something for them, but they're presenting it in a way as a gift. That's what I like to do for other people, and when it's done for me, it feels good. It feels good when somebody's offering you a gift right off the bat, and they're not asking for something that you're not already putting out there, that you're not already giving, that isn't easy and simple and something you enjoy doing. Those are the type of things you look for. But it's the same in personal one-on-one networking. Provide a gift, provide something, and not just a trinket, something that's of value, something that people might want, and put it out there. And that's a great way to be able to start a relationship. But sometimes it's nothing more than somebody saying, hey, would you mind chatting sometime? I'd like to see if there's anything we can do together. That's great. That's very human. That's very real. It's sincere. Sincerity goes a whole long way. When you don't have a message, when you're direct messaging someone on LinkedIn and you don't have a message that reads like it's a copy and paste job, especially when they don't even take the time to put in your name or anything else. I mean, it's just a, dear sir, you know, and of course, the worst thing is if you're dealing with somebody that you don't have a strong grasp on their language, if you're not a natural and you're not fully bilingual in their language, and you attempt to start a conversation, that's really difficult, especially for the ugly Americans, those of us who don't speak very many languages, and someone comes at us barely speaking English. It's very difficult, no matter how sincere that person may be. It's very difficult to want to engage with that person if you don't feel like you can actually have a solid back and forth and be clear. It's tough enough to communicate over text anyways, whether that be email or text messaging or instant messaging over social media. So these are all just a mishmash of different ideas to keep in mind. It all comes back to sincerity. It all comes back to giving versus taking. And if you can have that attitude and just be sincere, it doesn't mean that you're always going to hit a home run. You're always going to get weird responses back, or people that misunderstand you, or they think that you're taking when you're actually giving. I mean, these things happen. This is human nature. And you're going to have people that don't check their LinkedIn for 5 years at a time. So you can't do anything about that. That's all I got for today. Content marketing it really goes over this in principle. In principle, content marketing is how you give up front to be able to get in the long run. And content marketing, I have a training called contentmarketingquestion.com to see whether you're actually, whether it's right for you or not. Go check it out, contentmarketingquestion.com. That's all I've got for today. You have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.